Hi, everybody. Reverend Yolanda here. Well, this is the Mighty Creative Hour open mic night for February 1st, 2026. I'm not in the video because when we recorded this, my internet service was out up on the mountaintop where I live in Vermont, so I could not attend. So our lovely friend Shauna is going to interview my guest, which is Rosemary Loar. And Rosemary and I have been friends for over 20 years. She's a very accomplished singer-songwriter and Broadway performer. I know you are going to enjoy her sharing today. I wanted to tell you before we meet Rosemary that if you'd like to see me on TV, I am in a brand new Ryan Murphy TV series called The Beauty. I am in episode 6. You can watch it on Hulu. And this is an amazing story about a trans woman. My participation in this episode is as a guest star, so there is a good amount of me to see if you would like to see it. Once again, that is The Beauty by Ryan Murphy on Hulu. And I am in episode 6, which premieres on February 11th. And also, right before we meet Rosemary, I would like to play for you my latest song and video, which I released on all music platforms on January 26th. The song is called Did You Know? And the video is by Steve Bustamante. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy Rosemary. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Did you know that love is your true identity? And did you know that love is all encompassing? And everything you fear is now all dissolving. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. Love is inclusive, love is all encompassing. Well, did you know that love has no opposite? And did you know that no one is left outside of it? No one in exile, all of us are a part of it. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. Love is inclusive, love is all encompassing. Love is not in conflict, love simply is. Love is inclusive, it surrounds and transcends. Ooh, love is all there is. All there is.
encompassing.
Here we are. Again, this is Sunday, February 1st, 2026, and this is the Mighty Creative Hour with our guest, Rosemary Loar. So I just would love to hand it over to you for your first song. If you tell us about your first song and how it came about,
Okay,
Rosemary.
this is my first song. I'm a composer and a lyricist, and I've written for many, many years. And this song came to me from basically from the Course in Miracles, because the only moment is now, right? So that's the name of the song is called Sparkle and Fizz. And you'll see, but with the chorus, how it's just right with Awakening Together now, even though I wasn't yet with Awakening Together, but it's right in line with what we're learning with this wonderful awakening together. But anyhow, so I had a full band behind me. I had horns, I had backup singers, but that's not to be today because it's feeding back. So I'm going to sing it a cappella. And the funny thing is, it's like Yolanda's fighting with her internet, and I guess that's just the way it is today. So I'm going to start this. Okay. It's been a sad time, fist inside my throat time, burnt down to the ground time. No joy to sing about, skeletons and twisted doubt. How will I ever get out? I haven't been mindful in this crowded head. There's a jumping monkey laughing at me instead. Well, I'm coming back to life now, now. The only moment there is now. That's where the sparkle and fizz is. Everybody, that's where the sparkle and fizz is. Watching my breathing is such a bloody bore. Don't I deserve more? I packed my days full, I stuffed my mouth full, I crammed my mind full. I haven't been mindful in this crowded head. There's a jumping monkey laughing at me instead. Well, I'm coming back to life now. The only moment there is now. That's where the sparkle and fizz is. That's where the sparkle and fizz is. Words and notes upon a page can be spilled and spelled in a million ways. Imperfect rhymes are close enough, even when the melody is tough. If you're present for it all, present summer, winter, spring, and fall. Now is not yesterday, now's not the 5th of May, now's only now, what can I say? Yeah, no joy to sing about, skeletons and twisted doubt. How will I ever get out? I haven't been mindful in this crowded head. There's a jumping monkey laughing at me instead. Well, I'm coming back to life now, now. The only moment there is now, now. That's where the sparkle and fizz is. That's where the sparkle and fizz is. That's where the sparkle and fizz is.
Woohoo! Beautiful.
So I have a very good sense of pitch. If I start in one key, it will end in the right key. It's just God gave me that gift. Thank God. So I can sing a cappella to the day is blue, and I'm always going to end up in the right key.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm blessed. So my other song is called so this is off of an album of mine many years ago. I like to say to my voice students, before electricity, that's how long ago. But it's off of an album where I wasn't using the horns or anything like this. It was more subtle, and I used guitars, but acoustic guitars, and it's called State of Grace. And it starts with a with me singing and that keeps going through the whole song. Day spent wandering, empty-handed, empty, dying, drying on the vine, no sweet juices, fresh scents, no warm slices of yes. Open the gate, let the waters through. Dark days, dark. Oh, I just said that and I just changed keys. Dark days, digging deep in the thirsty soil, dark souls sliding into night, giving up the fight, hungry to connect the dots of the unknown. Open the gates, let the waters through. In the state of grace, guesses are as good as gold. In the state of grace, good as any story ever told. You're not too plain, you're not too old. No barracuda's teeth to hold you back. In the state of grace. Dum, dee 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 dee. Years spent blinded, chained to a broken promise, weary, dreaming, hurricanes and shallow breathing. Armies of angels are locked in their towers. Open the gate, let the waters through. In the state of grace, graces are as good as gold. In the state of grace, good as any story being told. You're not too plain, you're not too old. No barracuda's teeth to hold you back. In the state of grace. State of grace, not a trace of me in my sorry. State your name. You're the same as the sun on a cold, brittle landscape, moonscape, my escape to the state of grace. So you can see I'm pretty adventurous how I write music. So it changes keys in the middle of the song. And but I was, I was a musical theater performer for many years, so I'm used to doing all that stuff. So those are my two songs. And yeah, I'm sure you have some questions for me, Shauna, right?
I do. Yes. Thank you. That was beautiful, especially with a cappella. Just
Thank you.
gorgeous. Thank you,
Thank you.
Rosemary. Yeah. And for the folks that just came in, Yolanda's having internet problems, so she probably won't be able to be with us. So Rosemary just grabbed it by the horns and she's going with us. Yeah, go girl. Appreciate it.
My
So a
pleasure.
couple of questions that we wanted to know too is tell us about your career. How did it start and how did you reach this point?
Well, I know that I had a divine plan, right? So I had it in my plan. I got off the bus to New York City and I said, I'm going to be a Broadway star. I hadn't taken acting classes. I'd only taken opera classes. I hadn't taken any dance classes. So I had something inside me said, you're going to do this. So I started taking dance classes and then I got the first job I auditioned for. I got it. My national tour of Godspell. And this is what I said. Oh, this is going to be easy. You know how to make God laugh, right? So then I came back and all of a sudden I knew I had to learn how to dance. Fast forward, I'm dancing and taking classes, singing classes, acting classes. And then I start to book shows and I'm going to just leave it short. I booked some national tours, 42nd Street where I tap danced. I booked Chorus Line where I danced. And then I booked 6 Broadway shows. And when you get a Broadway show, because it is really, it's just amazing if you get a call back. And I got a call back. This is wild. My first Broadway show was with Jason Robards and Colin Dewhurst. And Jason Robards, Ellis Rabb was the director, and he saw my cabaret show. And he said, come in and audition for the show. So I auditioned for the show and I got it. So it was my first Broadway show and I was a straight actor. And then after that, once you get a Broadway show on your resume, then people start to take you seriously. And I booked a whole bunch of other shows, Sunset Boulevard, Cats. I did a lot of chess. So it was one of those things where I was like, wow, Once Upon a Mattress with Sarah Jessica Parker, when I did Sunset Boulevard, it was with Glenn Close and all these big fancy people and jobs. And then it was like my career went, and my husband said, well, you have to keep doing what you love. So I started doing cabaret work a lot more. And cabaret, you're writing your whole show, basically. So fast forward, since then, I've written 2 musicals. I write all my music. When I do a cabaret show now, I write a lot of the music. And I love composing. I love writing lyrics. And it scares the heck out of me. But I'm just about to, there's a thing called the United Solo Festival. So I've written a one-woman musical and it got accepted and I'm going to do it in April. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes and I'm starting to memorize it right now. So yeah, I've been so blessed. And I know because I teach voice, I love teaching. I'm a really good teacher because I had a lot of bad voice teachers. So you end up teaching yourself. And I eventually had a good opera teacher, but it was one of those things where I kept teaching myself and now I love teaching. And I see my students and they're so good. And it's really hard for them to book jobs. And I go, wow, I was blessed. I was really blessed because they're really talented and they have more skill than I did. But that's when you know it's divine order because this was my journey. Just the way my husband died 10 years ago, the love of my life. And I know that's my journey is to be a person who had a love of her life, die, and now she's living her life and finding new ways to, I don't know, be present. And I know you're going to ask me how long I've been with Awakening Together because Yolanda is a very dear friend of mine. and she and Glenn, our dear Glenn, were loving it. And they kept saying, you have to tune in. And I was like, I can't get up that early. I'm a typical actor. You don't want to get up too early. But I started getting up, and it's been now almost a year that I'm on Awakening Together every morning. And it's because I've done the Course in Miracles for many years. And to me, this is my next, this is just makes so much sense to go to now Awakening Together. It's the next step in my awakening, and I love the people that I have, that I, meet every morning. It's just such a, whew, what a great way to start the day. And these people are, Fran is one of them. She has incredible things to say, and Yuan has some things. I mean, these people are just so, I mean, I haven't really mastered how to write about this yet, so sometimes I share, but I'm with these enlightened souls. So it's such a gift that I get every morning. So, and I've told other people about Awakening Together, but I tell them, you got to be ready for it. And I know that I was ready for it, because it makes my life so much richer, So that's it.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Rosemary. Geez. And Regina, Yolanda says you come for thoughts of awakening in the morning. That's the program you come to?
Yes, the thoughts of awakening. So that's like, that's my go-to, man. I love it. So I do the meditation in the morning a lot. If I don't do it, then I do it after the thoughts of awakening, because sometimes, because I'm a performer, sometimes I'm out really late. And also I see a lot of people's shows and I'm out really late. So I go, no, I'm not gonna, I'll definitely make the 8:30 thoughts of awakening, but then I'll meditate after, if I have to. But thoughts of awakening are just, it's just another level for me, Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I love that you recognize that the awakening together came into your life at exactly the divine right time.
Perfect. Perfect. And, I always know that. You know, it's there's no doubt in my life. It's divine order all the way. It's divine order, and it's just comes into my life when I'm ready for it, you know. And yeah, that's it. It's just, I met Yolanda years and years ago. And we clicked, and I do a Wednesday night class. Yolanda has a Wednesday night class. And that came to me again, through spirit, because I used to do Sean Moniger's, and then he left town. He didn't do it anymore. And I went, okay, I'm going to do it with Yolanda and Glenn. And that's become my Wednesday night fix. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. I loved how you said you like to teach voice to the younger people. Just such passing on your passion and your
Yeah.
ability to teach them how to use the voice must be amazing.
I feel so, first of all, I feel so blessed, because somehow I have now a working, it's my work, because I'm not doing theaters much anymore, right? So that shut down, and and I'm not complaining, but when you're my age, there's a lot less roles. So, and I need to keep giving back, because to me, learning how to sing was so hard. I had such bad teachers, and I thought, no. So now I charge money. I never give away a free lesson, because so I know that's really important for me. And then I'm able to give money to people. Like, I can donate to this and that, and it feels really good. It's like, my money for that, to go to people's shows, but to see them get that little light bulb, oh, and to get their confidence. Oh, I just feel, and some of them come in and they're so shy, and I just feel so blessed, because I'm crazy, I'm a quirky girl, so I can get them to laugh. So sometimes I know they're rolling their eyes. They're like, I don't know who she is, but you have to get them to feel comfortable. Learning how to sing is the most vulnerable thing in the arts. Learning how to act, but learning how to sing, you're dealing with your breath. So they start to take a breath sometimes. They start to cry. It's like, yes, older people, I have older people all the time. Yes. I have a lot of older students. I had a student who was 80. She came to me at 79, never had a lesson in her life, and I worked with her for years. So I love teaching all ages. It's never too late to learn. And yeah, it's just, God, I'm so blessed. I started teaching the second I knew anything because I know when you teach, you're hearing it twice. So, and I also took this whole course on how to relax your jaw and tongue, which is really important as a singer. So I come fully loaded. I teach them how to audition, how to relax their jaw, and I have them laying on the floor sometimes or just holding their bellies to make sure they're breathing correctly. And it's just so exciting that I know this. It gives me, I just go, wow, I do have something to share. And I don't have children. So to me, I have some of these kids for 10 years and then they go to college. And I just feel like, oh my God, these little girls or these little boys. And I just feel like they're my little kids that grew up. So that's it. But like that woman who's 79, she did a cabaret act. And I went down to it and she hired musicians. She did it in South Jersey. And I went down there and it was like, she got in front of people. She'd never done this before. And I thought, good for her at 79. Wow, brave, right? So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Rosemary. I just love that you give them confidence and you make them laugh. Laughing is one of the biggest ways to break through the ice and to open up to what you're offering them. And I
Yes.
never thought of singing as being the most vulnerable. That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, it truly is. I mean, you're breathing. If you breathe and you have any tension, feelings are going to come up. That's why people stop breathing. Right. And so, and I'm really, I really, I can close my eyes and go, you're holding your breath. I watch concerts and I go, the back of their tongue is tight. It's a diagnostic skill that I have, and I basically have it because I had all these things myself. So I could, if they say if you spot it, I could spot it because I got it. I don't anymore because I worked on it for years, but that holding the breath, man. And once they get through, and once they cry in front of me once, then they go, oh, I said, this is normal. You're going to cry once in a while. So it's very vulnerable. It is. I mean, you're singing. There's nothing. Dancing, you're using your body. That's great. I'm a dancer. Acting, you have the words. Singing, you have the words, but they're on. You know. So yeah.
Huh. Thank you for that. That inside look. I never even thought of that. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, when we're holding our breath, there's so much, we're holding so much down. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you see people all the time holding their breath. You see people with their jaws tight all the time.
Yeah.
And because the jaw is the only bone in our body that moves, bone in our skull. I'm sorry. So it's the only one you can hold on to. So that's another thing when people release their jaws. Oh my God, you can see this fear on their face. It's like, I know, feels scary, but it's thrilling for me. It's like it's really my journey and I just love it. I'm so blessed.
Wow, so are they. So are all your students.
Oh.
From the 79-year-old to the 17-year-old.
No,
Just
I had one more student who I never take young kids. This family came to see me when I sing in libraries and I actually make pretty good money doing that. And this library paid me pretty well, and that's great. I used to go back a lot. And this family came up and they said, we love you so much. Do you ever teach? I said, no, I never teach people under 10. Even 10 is low. Well, of course, they convinced me to teach their little girl. She's 8 now. I made him wait a year, and she's improving. And I teach her on Zoom, because they live in Long Island. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's just like, oh, and they've become like friends because they like, oh, thank you so much. They're so sweet. And they surprised me a week ago. I sang at another library. They surprised me at another library in person. So it builds friendships and trust. And, your voice teacher is It's really close. You become so close to your voice teacher because it's so vulnerable. So, yeah.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
I
Thank
heard
you
you
for
say, oh, go ahead.
thank you for letting me spill on.
Oh gosh, no, this is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted to learn more about you, and that's so intimate and beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I heard you say you wrote your own one-woman play. Tell us
Yes.
more about that. Where can we see it?
Well, it's going to be at the Solo Festival in New York City on Theater Row. And I don't think we're going to do a live stream. I don't think they allow that. So, if you're not in New York, but we probably will film it, right? And yeah, it's a true story. The whole thing is a true story. And it's about me going out to Kentucky with my other sister, Teresa. My sister Maureen died, so we had to go out to empty out her house because her husband had died too. And so it's emptying out a house of someone who is a hoarder, right? Now, when you walk into a house of someone who's a hoarder, a lot of emotions come over you. And so it's about that. It's 10 monologues, and it's about the journey that we went on. We're laughing, we're crying, we're, probably cursing her. Why did you have so much stuff? But it's like when you see into somebody's soul, really, when you're going through their stuff. So it's that. And then, it's the journey that we had to give people, we had to get rid of the stuff. So we just put it out on the front lawn, and some friend of my sister Maureen put it on Facebook. And so people are coming, taking the stuff, and it's the stories of all those people coming. And they lived in a very rural place in Kentucky. There was a lot of poverty. So these people would walk in and they're like, I only have a blow up mattress. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'd say, okay, go into the bedroom and take what you need. So it was that. And it's so, you think about these people, they're so vulnerable. And the fact, even as my sister was dead, how she was giving back to her community. And it's just, I don't know. Even as it was happening, I was speaking into my phone saying, okay, this is a monologue. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then I started writing and it just kind of wrote itself. So yeah, I go, thank you, God. I always make deals with God. Thank you, God, for giving me these ideas. you know. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm going to have a violin player and a pianist. That's it. But I'm going to do so I know how to hip hop, believe it or not. So I'm going to do a song and it has a hip hop beat, and I'm going to do a salsa. So I'm going to have some dancing in it. So because I want to use all my skills in it. So, I've done a lot of cabaret and I've done a one woman show where I use Sting's music, but this is very different. This is a very personal story. This is my story about my sister dying, and she was the oldest. There were 7 children. She was the oldest, and you know, she's my sister. So anyhow, so that's it. Yeah.
That sounds lovely. The fact that your sister was still giving to all
Oh,
of her neighbors in the community, that's just fascinating.
yeah. And I have a line in one of my monologues is my sister's love of music ran as deep as her love of art. Favorite memory, going to concerts with her in Central Park and paying $2 to see Joni Mitchell or Simon and Garfunkel. And then my big sister knew every word to every song she ever heard, and that's the song comes from that. And she'll always be my big sister. She's always there close to my heart. So it's a real Valentine to my sister. And I know she was the first person I played my songs for because my songs. I'd call her up. I go, okay, listen to my new song, and she'd say, okay, good, good. I think you might want to simplify the bridge, or because she knew music, and if she could sing the hook back, I knew I had a good song. So she's still here with me. And the last song of the show is Here, You're Still Here. Here, You're Still Here. So it's and if somebody in the audience doesn't cry about that song, but it's a real celebration that she's still here and that she's, like you said and I said, she's still giving back to her community, and and every day we miss her in our family, but she taught us about art. You know, if I go into a city because I travel, the first thing I do is I go to an art museum. Even before I look up where the concerts are playing, I go into an art museum. That's because my sister Maureen. The name of my show is called My Big Sister. So, yeah. So,
Oh, it's so intimate. I love how it all came through you with divine inspiration, and it's so intimately yours.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I have a really good dramaturge. I don't know if you know what that means. It's somebody who I pay. He's the director of my shows and stuff, but he has a really good ear. So I read the monologues and he'll go, yeah, but you didn't mention this. You forgot to mention, you didn't tie it back. Oh, great. So I read them out loud to him, and then he says, okay, that's good, but you got to say it less with less. Okay, good. So he's really helping me, which, you know, everybody, people go, oh, do the famous writers? Oh, every writer has a dramaturge. Everybody who writes a book for a Broadway show has a dramaturge because you need somebody to hear it because you know what it's inside, but they don't know. The people that first, they're only going to hear it once probably. And the first time they hear it, they have to get it. So that's fascinating to me, stuff that I kind of missed and I didn't know. And I go, oh, that makes sense. So it's very exciting for me.
Nice. Sounds like spiritual path, helping us to see what we're not seeing.
Yeah. Wow. It
Yeah,
really, it's walking on water for me. It really is. It's like, okay, God, you gave me this idea. Now I got to have the tools to do it. I started memorizing it. Thank God, because it's going to be in April. And I'm like, I'm memorizing and I'm having fun. I'm like, okay, I can do it.
that's great. So I'd like to open it up to anyone that's here that would like to have a question for Rosemary, if that's okay with you, Rosemary.
Absolutely. That's why we're doing this.
Awesome. Anyone? Yeah, go ahead, Pierce.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rosemary. That was delightful. Um, and yeah, for me, I've always thought like all of the work that goes into something like you're creating, the ideas, the writing, the music, da 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 da, and then it's just like there for so short a time. I'm like, it just amazes me that artists do that. And
Yeah.
so if they're gonna film it, it would be wonderful if you could share it because I would love to see that show.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny because um it is only there for a short time. Unless somebody goes, well, this is great, let's make it an off-Broadway show, which it could be. This
Right.
could be a definite off-Broadway show.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have somebody film it, of course, and see if there's anybody who wants to do it. But usually you're doing it once, maybe a week, maybe twice. Um, and you're learning it all. And I even prayed the other night. I said, why am I doing this, God? I might only do this once. And I said, and God came back and says, because it's yours to do. So, and I just have to walk on water and know I won't just do it once, because hopefully,
Well,
it,
it's also blessing you, even if you did it just once,
oh
the
my God.
creation of it and everything is, yeah.
The act of creation. My late husband used to say, don't worry about who comes to your cabaret shows. You're loving or who listen who because I have 12 CDs. A lot of them are original music. He goes, you love creating. That's the joy. Yes, I love performing. I love performing, but the joy and the miracle, it's like it wasn't there and now it's there. And you go,
Mhm.
God, thank you for choosing me to have this channel. It's a
Mhm.
miracle that I get these songs. Like, I don't know where Sparkle and Fizz come. I don't even know. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where State of Grace came from. I do know, of course, but it's like, wow, that's a miracle. Because
Mhm.
I don't have formal training as a songwriter. No,
Mhm.
I have formal training as a singer and an actress. I listen
Mhm.
to music. So, but it's just, wow, that's like, it's just such a gift that God chose me to be one of those people who channel. Yeah.
You.
Thank you. Thank you, Yuen. You said my voice is angelic. Thank you. And it took me a long time to learn how to sing. I just got to tell you that. So, because I had a lot of vocal tension, and I wrote a whole musical about it. It's called Water from the Moon, and it's about my father's relationship with me. And he wanted to be a singer, and he lived during the Depression, so he never did it. And then he had 7 kids and never did it. And he was jealous of me and took it out on me. And as I went to therapy and prayed a lot, I realized he was suffering, and I was able to forgive him really and become really close to him. And that's the miracle of forgiveness, because I could let go. It was really my miracle that I gave myself, but he felt my love. He felt my non-judgment. And that show is about a celebration of what it is to forgive and the gift that he gave me, because these songs are, they all came from my pain and the joy of finally becoming very close to him.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rosemary.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a question or comment for Rosemary? Don't see any hands. There's Fran. Go for it.
Hi, Rosemary. It's so interesting to see you in a different size box.
Right.
I was wondering, did your daddy ever get to see your show?
No, it makes me very sad he didn't. But he saw it up in heaven, Um, the last, he actually, the thing is, he would, after he got over him being jealous, he came to see me in a show in Texas one time, and he came backstage and he said, "I'm so sorry. I was jealous of you, and now I'm so proud of you." And I thought, how many Irish men could do that? Because they're so, they got their dukes up. And I think that was really the closure that he needed, because then we sang together. We would sing harmonies together and stuff like that. And I don't know when I started writing the song, but he was already passed. But the miracle of this show is, I have to share this. My husband died, and 6 months later, somebody gave me a grant. One of my cousins gave me money, and he said to find a cure for Bob's cancer. And Bob died like a month later. And I used that to fund an off-Broadway show version of Water from the Moon. So from my husband's death and from the inspiration of my father, I got to do the show off Broadway. And it was a miracle, because getting a show off Broadway is just so blessed hard. But so he never got to see it, but he's up in heaven. He saw it, and he was singing along with me. He just, it's just I wrote a song called "Our Father, Please Don't Go to Heaven Yet," and it's a duet. And I swear, the guy who played my father in the show, oh my God, phenomenal actor. He played Jean Valjean in Les Mis. He's that kind of actor, and the leading role in Les Mis. And he was just like my father, high-tempered, very passionate. And I was always a little afraid of him, and we did the show together, and it was a miracle, because he became this, I don't know, he became transformed by doing the show. I think he really got to see a mirror of who he was. And that's divine order right there, So yeah, I wish my father did see it, but he heard it, he saw it,
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question.
I'm curious, did you know your father was jealous of you before
Yes.
he said it? Or he
Well,
told-
my therapist probably helped me. I mean, there's a line in the show that goes, "I yelled, 'I hate you, Daddy,' into a pillow for 10 years." She said to me something that I was shocked at, because I felt guilty for becoming a professional singer. And I kept losing my voice. I would get hoarse. I would have a lesson and I would hoarse the next day. And she said, it's okay for you to be better than your father and to move ahead and to have a career. And it was like, oh my God, I've been feeling guilt. I didn't know I was feeling guilty, right? And it was one of those things where you're like, well, of course you're going to make yourself hoarse. And he had his journey, he had his journey. And, you know, he got to be, he, at the end of his life, he got to sing in the barbershoppers. So he was up there going, he was in heaven. And I
Yeah.
thought, how many men get to do that at the end of their lives? Because he joined the choir, he did, the barbershop quartet, and so he got to do what he wanted to do. And oh, I think it was because he had a daughter that showed him the joy of it, and and maybe he went, well, I could do that, or I should do that. Why am I waiting? Because and then I didn't have to feel guilty, and feel sorry for him. I mean, that's like the worst thing you can do is feel sorry for somebody. But
Mhm.
I don't even know the question you asked her. I'm just going on here. Sorry.
So you knew that before
Yeah,
he
I
said
knew he.
I was jealous of you, you had already
Yeah.
become aware of that.
Well,
Yeah.
because I'm going to say this, and I love you, Daddy. He would say, "Shut up, Rosemary," all the time. Shut up, Rosemary. Your voice goes right through me. Well, that was speaking. That was my speaking voice. But then when he apologized, it made sense. But I also had my therapist saying to me, your father wished he could do it. He's jealous. And then I was like, oh my God. I didn't know he was jealous. I couldn't understand. Of course he was jealous. He wanted listen, I love music. I can't imagine not doing it. And I don't have children, and there's a reason. Because I wouldn't have enough time. I mean, a career that I had, you're away from your kids a kid a lot. And I didn't want to be jealous that I had to give up because people go, oh, no, you have to stay home with your child. You can't just have a babysitter all the time. Your career changes. And so, yeah, he couldn't do what he wanted to do until after we all left the house, and that's when he discovered his joy. And oh my God, I was just so happy for him, and everything. It was such a celebration to get past all that heartache and jealousy, and for me to be jumping up and down and hugging him after his concerts and feeling so excited for him, and for him to be jumping up and down seeing me in my Broadway shows, and sitting next to somebody and going, that's my daughter. I did Cats, right? I did Grisabella in Cats, and that's a big role. That's the big role. And they flew out to Philly. I did the national tour before I did Broadway. And they flew out, and they were in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, and they were sitting on the edge of the bed telling the cleaning lady who came in, our daughter's the star of the play, and like it gave him pride then. And I was so happy that I could make him proud, you know. And I wanted to say, yeah, Daddy, because you worked 7 days a week to feed and clothe me. You know, he was a very good father. We never went a day. We were poor, but we never went a day without. He didn't. We never went a day without food and without clothing, and that's because he worked. And that's the thing that I, you know, got to tell him a little bit. That be proud, and now you're doing it anyhow. So it's a real. It's a real like forgiveness is the great liberator is my byline for the show. Because the second I forgave him, I saw all the goodness in him, and I stopped feeling all the. I was really, didn't like him. I wouldn't sit next to him at the dinner table when I came home from college. So that's a scene in the show. So, but it came from that to my older sister Maureen saying, "Why did you forgive him? He was such a creep." And I was like, "Wow, you know, resentment, as you know, is just resending all that hurt." And I just felt, wow, was I lucky that I could get past that.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not carrying that around. I'm just so excited that I have a daddy that I love so much, and could talk great things about. And, he taught me harmony and how to sing. And, he didn't teach me how to sing, but he taught me the love of music. Because that's all we had music all the time in our house because of my father and my mother. My mother loved music, but music was always playing. We were always harmonized together, and that's the gift that he gave us. And so beside the fact that he was abusive, vocally to me, he gave me the love of music. So you have to take that too. So anyhow, yeah,
Great. Thank you.
thank you.
It's just a beautiful story of how forgiveness works in our lives and to transcend
Yeah.
that stuff. That's just beautiful, Rosemary.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
praying that that show gets, I really see that show being, I don't have to play the lead. I was the lead in it, but I don't have to play the lead. I see that show um, being produced because I think we all need to hear that forgiveness is the great liberator. And our times right now are pretty challenging. And I think I mean, my other show is about the environment and overconsumption. And I have a feeling like this is the time for these shows because this is about something meaningful that I think people need to keep hearing. And it's a great thing to hear it in a fun musical, right? We're singing songs about, my planet and everybody loves it, but they're getting education about, oh yeah, the environment's important. And we know it, but I don't think we really, really own it, how important it is. And I think if you go to a musical and it's all about the environment and you're getting the messages in there with the songs, I think there's I really feel that there's a time for this show. So I'm seeing that.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. Can I ask a question? I'm curious how, like where I live, we have 3 community theaters. I live in Mexico in a little town, but we have 3 expat community theaters.
Oh,
And
wow.
so like, what's the process like if, like a community theater wants to look at different options of what they're going to put on for the season? How does that work? I mean, do you have your
Every,
play
every,
somewhere?
every theater is different. Some
Mhm.
people just go through, there's a thing called, you look up and see what the plays are. Samuel French, there's a big, what's the word? Encyclopedia, not encyclopedia, but a big, book.
Mhm.
And then they paid for the rights. Now, there's also people say, okay, can I send you my script? And they look at it. And then you'll
Mhm.
say to them, you don't have to pay so much for the rights if you produce my show because it's directly to me. So that's
Ah,
how. Now I just got Spoolie Girl, which is the show about the environment,
uh-huh.
orchestrated so that anybody can play it anywhere. And
Mhm.
all the music's written out, everything's written out. So it would be a matter of me reaching out to the theater or the theater reaching out to me and saying, can you send us a couple scripts or some things? And then we see.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Spoolie Girl, yes, that's the name of it. It's Spoolie. So the funny thing is, if you look, they're pink and they're spoolies that you go around your hair like this, right? So
Mhm.
that's it. So the funny thing is people go, I know spoolies. I used to put them in my hair. So everybody loves the show because it's quirky and and the lead, I won't tell you too much about it, but the lead spends the whole show in these pink rollers. And at the end, she takes it out. But it's just like this quirky little, and there's fairies and there's pink wings but really a deep message of we have to stop over consuming. We have to start realizing that the environment is this is the only one we have. So we have to stop acting like it's not important. So, but it's all done with quirky songs and fun songs um, but the message gets across. When I've done it, it's been very well received. So yeah. Thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, I'm really glad that that's coming through you because I agree the environment is really important and people just need to wake up,
Yeah.
really need to wake up, especially, I mean, I see so much waste in this country, so much overconsumption. Like you said, there's just no need for it.
Yeah. So much overconsumption. And yeah, and there's a song called Too Much Is Never Enough. Too much is never enough. So it's like all these women singing in a beauty parlor, and they're all singing, if 5 is good, 55 is better. I'm gonna be, so it's all these rich people in a salon, and they're talking about if 4 is, and they're all talking about if 5 is good, 55 is better. So it's all that, which you're like, wow, that's what's going on in the world right now. It's like, do we need to have 3 cars? Can we have 1 car? Do we have to have 5 TVs? Can we have 1 TV? Do we have to have, 16,000 pairs of shoes? Can we just not do all that? And so it's very heightened in the extremes, and I think that's when comedy happens, and it's really and like the groove, too much is I want my stuff to, it's that kind of, so it's quirky and fun, and but I'm really I know God gave me deep inspiration on this one.
Yeah, and again, comedy is a way to open people's minds and hearts to see differently than they are.
Yeah.
And of course, too much is never enough is totally ego, right? It's
Yeah.
never really satisfied except for maybe a moment. And just going after stuff all the time is so exhausting. So I'm glad you're bringing the awareness to that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
And you do have a song, a video you'd like me to play, correct?
Yes. So this video is called Mother Earth, right? Do you have that one?
Yes.
And it's right along with my environmental. It's not from the show, but the video, which is really fun, was done with 2 people that I know really well. And one of them was one of my voice students. And she decided she's also a graphic designer. So she did that. And then the other guy, they did it together. And these are 2 really good friends. But Mother Earth is the name of it. And at the end, you'll hear different languages. So I got women from all over the world say the word Mother Earth. So I think I have a Chinese woman. I have somebody from Puerto Rico, but then I also have at that point, she was 8 years old, my grandniece. And you have to listen for it. She goes, Mother Earth. And she had a little lisp then. It's so cute. And you're just like, Mother, so and I have that little thing on my computer screen. So when I feel sad, I just play that because she's so cute. She was like, I'm going to be on Aunt Rose's, video and her song. So it's very nice. And I love that I brought in the women from all over the world because it's Mother Earth. Okay. So yeah, so we can watch it if you want.
All these years she's crying, greenhouse gases heating me up. All these years she's crying, overconsumption beating me up. All these years she's crying. The sea will rise, the birds will fall down from the sky. All these years she's weeping. Look at what you've done. All these years she's longing to be heard like everyone. All these years she's warning. Water is undrinkable, unthinkable. Is depending on love, depending on love. All these years she's crying, you've been squandering your health. All these years of lying in the pursuit of power and wealth. All these years she's warning, forget your body politic. The air can make you sick. Love
I haven't heard it in so long. Aren't the illustrations great? Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful. You're really, really well put together and such a beautiful, fun message to bring our awareness to the environment.
Yeah. So yeah, and the woman who did the graphics, like I said, is a voice student of mine, but she lives in Sicily. That's where she's from. And you know, I think she's so creative, so outside the box, just and the guy he put it all together, Bruce, is person that I worked with when I did Sunset Boulevard, and now he's just doing graphics and videos and stuff. And so, it's like in the community, you just keep finding these people, it's nice.
Yeah, well, and they're drawn to you too. It's all divine, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Rosemary Laura, thank you so much. It was such a joy to have you here today, and thank you for stepping up when Yolanda didn't have internet. It was such a joy.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Okay. Take care.
Okay,
Bye bye.
thank you. Bye bye.